The Kalahari is a vast, semi-arid sandy savanna in southern Africa, covering much of Botswana, parts of Namibia, and the Northern Cape province of South Africa. While often referred to as a desert, it's not a true desert in the sense of being completely barren. Our camera is focused on this magnificent cheetah you see before you. Its spotted coat, a true marvel of nature's camouflage. And right next to it, its hard-won prize, a young Springbok. For the first minute or so, this cheetah is completely focused on its meal. It's tearing into the Springbok's flank with those incredibly sharp teeth. You can just see the power in its jaws as it takes chunks of meat. But even while it's eating, its eyes, so intelligent and watchful, keep flicking up, scanning the horizon. This is the harsh reality for a lone predator out here. Every meal is a magnet for bigger or more numerous rivals looking to steal a catch. This scene truly is a snapshot of the daily struggle for survival in this arid land. The cheetah, the ultimate symbol of speed and agility, isn't just a hunter, it's also potentially the hunted. Its success in securing this meal speaks volumes about its skill, but its constant vigilance reminds us of the endless threats it faces. The delicate, ancient balance of predator and prey, of survival and vulnerability, is laid bare for us right here on the sun-drenched sands of the Kalahari. The cheetah's vigilance really picking up, lifting its head to survey its surroundings. Look at its ears, trying to catch even the faintest sound carried on this dry desert air. Its gaze sweeps across the seemingly empty landscape, searching for any telltale sign, the flicker of movement, a glint of sun on fur, or even the distant cry of a bird that might signal danger approaching. You can almost feel the tension in its lean body. Even with the immediate satisfaction of this kill, the instinct for survival is absolutely paramount. The Kalahari is teeming with opportunistic predators, and a freshly killed meal like this is incredibly valuable and incredibly vulnerable. Think about it. Hyenas, with their relentless drive and powerful jaws, or even a single lion, could easily overpower this lone cheetah and snatch its meal away. We'll leave the cheetah to its meal, a solitary figure against the immense backdrop of the African wilderness. Heading back to camp as the sun set on our first day in the Kalahari, we have had the privilege to spend this time at a fantastic sighting. Tomorrow, we will venture out again and see what a day in the Kalahari is all about. The day begins on a simple ribbon of gravel. This path doesn't just cross the landscape, it leads you into another time. You are entering the Kalahari, the land of great thirst. Around you, silent sentinels stand guard. Ancient trees that have witnessed 1,000 seasons, watching over this vast and untamed wilderness. In the early light, life is drawn to the water. But in the Kalahari, nothing is simple. For this jackal, every drink is a risk. A moment of life-giving water is also a moment of complete vulnerability. Every sip is earned with caution. High on the red dunes, a master of speed waits. The sun warms its back, but its eyes are cold with focus. This is the perfect vantage point. Then the light softens as clouds paint the sky. A moment of stillness before the hunt begins. In the Kalahari, patience is power. Further down the track, a survivor. This lone hyena wears the fresh scars of a brutal conflict. Proof that in this kingdom, every territory and every meal is fought for. And on the ridge above, a different story unfolds. Two leopards resting. The calm, confident gaze of the victors. At the water's edge, a sound that is the very soul of the Kalahari. These are Namakwa Sandgrouse, but they are not just here to drink. The male is performing a miracle of evolution. His specially adapted belly feathers are soaking up water like a sponge, a living canteen, to carry precious moisture miles across the desert to his thirsty chicks. In front of the camel thorn, an unusual sight. A cheetah with the prize from yesterday's hunt, the Springbok, still there. We expected to find only scraps, but the scene is strangely peaceful. So why the wait? To eat, it must first recover. But resting is also a risk. The scent of its success is traveling on the wind, an open invitation to lions and hyenas. For this hunter, the race is not truly over. A nervous energy takes hold. Senses are on high alert, scanning the horizon for the rivals it knows are coming. The kill must be secured, moved from this open, vulnerable ground to the safety of cover. The explosive power that brings down the prey, but something leaves it too weak to protect the prize. The attempt begins. Jaws take hold, every sinew straining against the dead weight of the Springbok. A colossal effort for a minimal gain. This is the cheetah's paradox. It's not just fatigue. A closer look reveals the truth. The Springbok fought back. A raw wound, a crippling limp. Suddenly, the hunter is vulnerable. With the truth of its injury revealed, the cheetah's world has shrunk to a single, desperate task. Every movement is now agonizing, a painful shadow of the explosive grace it possessed just hours ago. The limp is a constant, crippling reminder of its new reality. Unable to drag the kill to a safer place, a deeper primal instinct takes over. Catching, a last-ditch effort to hide the prize from the many eyes and noses that are surely closing in. With painstaking effort, it scrapes loose sand and gravel over the carcass. The primary goal is to hide it from above, to make it invisible to the sharp-eyed vultures that patrol the skies. It's a futile attempt to mask the scent that will inevitably draw lions and hyenas, but it is the only option left. This is a tragic expenditure of precious energy. The very strength needed to heal its wound is now being spent in this frantic effort. This Springbok is no longer just a meal. It is survival. It is the fuel needed to mend broken flesh, the one thing that now stands between this cheetah and starvation. Nothing more can be done. The body is broken, the energy is spent. All that is left is to wait. In another part of the park, a different icon commands the landscape. The Oryx, known here as the mighty Gemsbok. Life in the herd is a constant test of strength. What looks like play is crucial practice, a rehearsal for the deadly serious duels that will one day decide a male's right to rule. Here, there is no question who rules. The dominant bull is a living statue of power and the others acknowledge his authority. This clear hierarchy brings order and stability to the herd. He is a master of this arid world, unfazed by the heat or the distant movements on the horizon. The Gemsbok's spear-like horns are not for show. They are deadly weapons, used for defense against lions and for winning this very throne. Meet the Kalahari's busiest residents. Their cooperative claws unearth a hidden world of beetles and larvae. For a meerkat, the hunt for food is a full-time job. We return to the wounded cheetah, where the inevitable has happened. The scent of the kill has delivered its first visitor. A black-backed jackal. It keeps its distance, for now, sizing up the formidable hunter, sensing the weakness caused by its wound. The cheetah rests, completely unaware. It does not yet know it is being watched. The jackal weighs its options. A fight, even with a wounded cheetah, could be its last. A sound betrays the jackal's presence. The cheetah sees the threat, but any reaction wastes precious energy. It is a dangerous bluff, a mask of utter indifference. The jackal retreats, settling in to simply wait. There is no rest for the wounded. And soon, others will come. And so the jackal waits. Its sharp ears miss nothing, listening for opportunities knock. It cannot move the prize, so it must move itself. A painful retreat to the life-saving coolness of the shade. Life moves on. Down the park's main artery, the world's largest bird patrols its domain. Whether grooming or foraging for seeds and shoots, the ostrich is a true survivor. Perfectly at home in these ancient, dry riverbeds. Here, we find the namesake of a nation's sporting pride, the Springbok. They are the very pulse of the Kalahari. Though foraging peacefully now, they are famous for a spectacular, stiff-legged display, an act of pure joy known as pronking. The gemsbok often walks alone, a stoic king surveying its vast, silent kingdom. The shade of a camel thorn offers respite, but rest is never total. A flicker of movement on the horizon, a distant scent, the senses are always on watch. In this immense landscape, paths cross. But there's no need for greeting, simply a mutual respect for a shared, solitary existence. But that respect has its limits. When territories overlap or dominance is challenged, the Kalahari's code of peace is shattered. This is not play. With horns like sharpened spears, every duel is a potentially lethal dance. A brutal, magnificent contest to decide who is truly master. A stately presence on the desert floor, the magnificent Kauri bustard. The heaviest bird on earth that is capable of flight. And where there is life on the ground, there are eyes in the sky. The pale chanting goshawk. From the master of the sky to the master of the shadows, the leopard, scanning the landscape for opportunities. But no luck. Where one hunter fails, another succeeds. A tawny eagle secures its prize. But the kill is not safe on the ground. It's carried to a high branch, far from the reach of opportunistic thieves. Here, the eagle can claim its hard-won reward. The vital fuel needed to power the master of the Kalahari sky. As midday approaches, the sun's dominion begins. A burning thirst drives all life towards the water. First to arrive are the titans of the cleanup crew, the powerful and intimidating lappet-faced vultures. Soon they are joined by cape vultures. At a carcass, these birds are fierce rivals, but the oppressive heat enforces a fragile truce here at the water's edge. The desperate need for water emboldens even the cautious battler eagle. In the Kalahari, thirst is the great leveler, a force more powerful than fear. When the heat becomes relentless and water is scarce, the Kalahari's inhabitants have other ways to stay clean and cool. For the ostrich, the answer lies in the sand itself. This is dust bathing, a vital grooming ritual. With powerful flicks of their wings, they work the sand deep into their plumage. The fine, abrasive grains absorb excess oil and suffocate the tiny mites and parasites lodged against their skin. But it's more than just hygiene. Healthy feathers are crucial insulation, protecting the birds not only from the scorching sun, but from the surprising chill of the desert night. It is a communal activity, a moment of shared relief and maintenance. A critical adaptation for staying healthy in a world where every drop of water is a precious, life-giving resource. The Kalahari holds its breath. Even the Waterhole is deserted, the windmill turning for no one. All life has retreated, seeking refuge from the tyranny of the sun. Midday. But eventually, thirst overpowers the heat. The wildebeest, then the ever-resilient Springbok. The pilgrimage to water begins. For those who can't retreat underground, the battle against the sun is won with small adjustments. A shift to a new branch finds a cooler perch, while ruffling its feathers helps trap air, a vital layer of insulation against the oppressive heat. Drawn by a thirst that can no longer be ignored, the blue wildebeest arrive. They are the clowns of the Kalahari, but their need for water is deadly serious. There's an unspoken etiquette at the Waterhole. A constant, nervous cycling as those who have quenched their thirst move on, making way for the next wave. This rotation minimizes the risk of predation. But patience wears thin under the punishing sun. A dominant individual asserts its rank, forcing its way in. For these animals, the water offers more than just a drink. It is a blessed, cooling relief from the relentless heat that radiates from the sand. From its high perch, the tawny eagle watches the drama at the Waterhole unfold. But comfort is temporary. In the Kalahari, an animal is never truly at ease. A sudden sound, a perceived threat, an instinct takes over. Caution is a collective strategy. When one runs, they all run. It is better to leave thirsty than to become another hunter's meal. The alarm has passed, but the lesson remains. For the delicate Springbok, there is no such thing as a casual drink. Every approach to the water is governed by absolute caution, a masterclass in vigilance. The head is down for only a few seconds at a time, just long enough for a quick sip before the eyes and ears are once again scanning for the slightest hint of danger. It is this unbroken state of alert, this cautious discipline, that allows it to survive where others flee. And now, we see the reason for all the vigilance. The silent, undisputed rulers of the Kalahari have revealed themselves. The lions. In the peak of the afternoon heat, the search continues. The road leads to another Waterhole. Another stage for the drama of the day. At the Waterhole, every interaction is a negotiation. The approaching male is met with a subtle but clear signal, a low bow, presenting the formidable horns. The message is understood. The challenge is declined. This is the result of such negotiations, an established hierarchy. The dominant bull's authority is unquestioned. Subordinates give a wide berth, a clear acknowledgement of his superior rank. And this hierarchy brings order to the entire herd, a peaceful, organized rotation, ensuring everyone gets their turn to drink. But when subtle signals are ignored, the negotiation turns brutal. A battle for absolute dominance. After the violent contest, order is restored. The question of dominance has been answered, and the herd settles back into its cautious rotation, a system dictated by the victors. Having navigated the complex social maze and quenched its thirst, a lone bull departs, ready once more to embrace a solitary existence on the vast plains. Hierarchy is not just about dominance, it is about responsibility. One stands guard, a sentinel, while the herd drinks. The fragile peace settles over the herd once more, but the test for dominance is never truly over, just a constant, subtle reinforcement of rank. New arrivals assess the scene. thirst pulls them forward, caution holds them back. The herd is a fortress of horns and eyes. This is peaceful domination. Their calm confidence is a clear signal to all others. This water belongs to them. The waiting game continues, but now there is a shift. As the great herd begins to disperse, the path to the water slowly starts to clear. A look of calm curiosity. Now, the first move. The male ostrich employs a clever strategy of disinterest, pretending to forage, casually pecking at stones. It's a carefully crafted illusion, designed to close the distance to the water without appearing as a challenger. The subtle strategy has paid off. They have reached the water's edge, moving like ghosts among the giants. But proximity breeds tension, and a brief power struggle erupts. A quick flap of the wings to establish their own pecking order before the drinking can begin. With their own ranks established, an uneasy calm returns. But the imposing Oryx are still here. The final approach to the water will require perfect timing. At last, the long wait is over. The risk, rewarded with life-giving water. One battle won, another continues. The heat. At last, the Waterhole is theirs. The long, patient wait has finally paid off. They drink deep, completely undisturbed. And with numbers comes astonishing courage. The once cautious birds are now emboldened, turning the tables on the former masters of the Waterhole. And so, the conflict resolves. The victors, for this moment, are decided. It is a timeless lesson of the Waterhole. Power is fluid, and courage, backed by numbers, can change the entire dynamic in an instant. For now, there is peace. Their thirst is quenched, but peace is fleeting. The journey continues back into the great, open plains. And so, the timeless cycle continues. As the ostrich prepare to leave, the oryx are returning. Their business at the Waterhole is done. It is easy to see the ostrich as an awkward giant, a comical character on the African stage. But to do so is to miss the profound beauty and power of a creature from an ancient time, performing a ritual as old as the dust itself. There is a unique and rugged grace in their design. The striking contrast of the male's deep black and brilliant white plumage against the muted, earthy tones of the female. These soft, flowing plumes, once prized by royalty, are not just for show. They are used in elaborate courtship dances, a silent, graceful language written on the desert wind. Their eyes, the largest of any land animal, are fringed with impossibly long lashes, missing nothing in their vast domain. And beneath this beauty lies incredible strength. They are the fastest runners of any bird on Earth, capable of reaching 70 kilometers per hour, their powerful legs eating up the ground in a blur of motion. A single forward kick carries lethal force. This power comes from a unique two-toed foot, a design that maximizes speed and delivers a formidable defense against any predator foolish enough to get too close. Far from being an oddity, the ostrich is a masterpiece of desert engineering, a symbol of the Kalahari itself, and a testament to a wild, resilient, and enduring spirit. As the day softens into golden hour, the mood of the Kalahari changes. It is time for one last drink before the long night and the arrival of the evening's predators. The thirsty sand has already claimed this spill. The only choice is to press on towards the true source. What was a frustrating puddle for the Oryx is a perfect drink for the smaller, more opportunistic jackal. But for the mighty Springbok, only the true source will do. Here is the reward. An animal this large must drink deeply, replenishing the moisture lost in the day's brutal heat. This is the vital fuel needed for the long, cold night ahead. For the smaller inhabitants, the Waterhole presents a different set of challenges. This Springbok starts at the edge of the spill, far from the main gathering, where the hulking Springbok still command the space. But the thirst for fresh, clean water is a powerful motivator. It cautiously moves closer, hoping for a chance at the better source. And here, it hits a wall of horns and muscle. The path is blocked. To press forward would be to issue a foolish challenge to an animal that vastly outweighs it. There is an invisible line drawn in the sand, a boundary of respect and fear that the Springbok understands it cannot cross. It is a long, tense calculation of risk versus reward. And wisdom prevails. The Springbok making do with the sandy puddle. In the Kalahari, the perfect drink is not always worth the ultimate price. The giants have departed. Now is the time for the clever and the cautious. The black-backed jackal knows its place in the hierarchy. It doesn't waste energy on confrontation. It simply waits for the danger to subside. Only when the coast is clear does it venture forward, claiming its share in the quiet moments between rains. With the larger animals gone, it is finally the Springbok's turn to drink their fill. In the safety of the herd, a fragile confidence descends, but it never lasts. In a land of silent predators, any unexpected sound can signal lethal danger. The entire herd becomes a single nervous entity, poised on a knife edge of fear. A sudden, piercing noise shatters the calm. Every head snaps up. Every muscle tenses. The source of the panic. Not a lion or a leopard, but a noisy ground squirrel announcing its presence to the world. With the false alarm over and thirst quenched, it's time to leave the vulnerability of the Waterhole behind. For a small Springbok's safety is never found in solitude, it is found in the herd. Reunited, they move as one, melting back into the vast, open plains. Their brief, nervous truce with the Waterhole is over, until thirst draws them back once more. Away from the intense drama of the Waterhole, life returns to its normal rhythm. A constant search for sustenance in the vast, quiet riverbed. As the golden light fades, the character of the Kalahari shifts. The daytime grazers grow wary, for the masters of the night are beginning to stir. The spotted hyena arrives and immediately begins to read the landscape, assessing every scent, every sound. This is no mere scavenger, but a supremely intelligent and powerful predator. Its approach is deliberate. Nothing left to chance. Why risk the main Waterhole, with its lingering sense of large herds and potential conflict? The isolated spill offers a quicker, safer option, a drink without drawing unwanted attention from rivals. The cautious strategy pays off. A safe, undisturbed drink, replenishing its strength for the long night of hunting that lies ahead. Business complete, it melts back into the growing dusk, but it is not truly alone. As the adult confidently departs, a younger, more hesitant member of the clan emerges from the shadows, ready to follow the example that has just been set. The young hyena, carefully scanning the area, its coat, a muted greyish-brown, marks it as a juvenile, still learning the complex rules of the bush. But where the adult saw opportunity, the juvenile sees only danger. Every shadow is a threat, every sound a potential enemy. This youthful insecurity is a vital survival instinct, but tonight, it is overwhelming. The courage to settle down and drink simply isn't there. And so it retreats, thirst unquenched. For a young hunter, learning when to walk away is the most important lesson of all. As the day's heat finally surrenders to the cool of evening, we return to the Ostrich. There is no conflict now, no tension. Just two companions sharing a final, vital drink before nightfall. For a moment, they move in perfect synchrony, a peaceful, unchoreographed ballet at the water's edge, finding safety and solace in each other's company. The golden hour often brings a change of mood, a final, playful energy before the quiet of the night. This is not a serious duel, but a gentle dance, a bond being strengthened between two companions in the day's fading light. As night approaches, a calm descends. The herd gathers close, a quiet moment of family as they prepare for the long, watchful hours ahead. The last light of day ignites the landscape. This is the final opportunity for a peaceful graze, their iconic silhouettes painted against the magnificent red dunes. An enduring symbol of the Kalahari soul. The ghostly, elegant kudu emerges at dusk to browse amongst the thorns. And then, the finale. As the sun kisses the horizon, the air itself seems to turn to dust and fire. In a final, spectacular ritual, the ostrich cloaks itself in the last light, a mythical creature performing an ancient dance. It is a silhouette of resilience against the dying embers of the day, a final salute to the unforgiving sun. The sun sets on one more day of struggle and of beauty. But in the Kalahari, the story of survival never truly ends.